Hey y'all, here's another Just Move follow along 10-minute video that we're going to do some like kind of weird yoga-ish things, and we can use this just to kind of prep ourselves for the day if it's in the morning before some mobility work, or we can use this as part of our warm-up leading into a workout. So follow along. You don't need anything, just to follow along. So we're just going to start on hands and knees, and we're just going to start with some cat and cows. So I'm going to first set up just like I would in a regular push-up. I'm going to twist my hands on the floor so my elbow pits are facing forward, draw my belly button in. I'm going to take a breath in as I make my tailbone go up to the sky, drop my shoulders a little bit, and really try and arch that back. And I'm going to push everything around, tuck my chin, tuck my tailbone, push away from the floor. And I'm going to go in and out of those positions. The goal is just to get the spine moving a little bit here. You don't need to spend long in these positions. We just want to hit the full end range. Then what I like to do is start, when I'm in those end range positions, start giving it some lateral movement too. So wiggling around from side to side, pushing away, leaning around, just kind of feeling around, trying to get the vertebrae moving. Now we're just going to get nice and tight. So we're going to keep the back flat. We're going to try and disassociate your shoulder movement with your spine movement. Belly button drawn in, my elbows are going to stay locked out, and I'm just going to move my shoulder blades around. So I'm dropping my chest towards the floor, pushing away. Again, my elbows stay locked out, keeping my belly button drawn in. Now when I drop them back, I'm going to shrug up and then push away. Drop them back, shrug up and push away. Drop them back, shrug up, push away. Now I'm going to drop them back, and I'm going to shrug down my back and push away. Drop shoulders back, shrug down, push away. Now I'll just walk my hands forward. Let's keep your thumbs together. I'm going to twist in, so this is going to mimic that exact same push-up position. Elbow pits facing forward. I'm going to stick my head down and through, controlling my spine position. So rib cage down, belly button pulled in. I'm really pushing into the ground with my hands, sticking my head down. I'm going to lean as far as I can to one side and as far as I can to the other side, getting in some lateral stretching here too. Now we'll come back on all fours. I'm going to reach under with my right hand and go as far as I can, and I'm going to drop my shoulder down to the ground. And I'm going to use my left hand to push to try and get my chest to rotate up to the ceiling a little bit more. Then I'm going to come out. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let my shoulder go down, push with my right hand. Take a couple breaths, trying to get my back to rotate. All right, now I'm just going to sit back on my heels. I'm going to sit up really tall, belly button drawn in. I'm going to take my hand out to the side, and I'm going to lean over. You can let that other hand kind of go with you a little bit, and then I'm just going to go to the other side. Just trying to get into those sides. All right, now we're just going to sit down on our butt here. We'll put our legs out in front of us. We're just going to reach down to touch the toes if you can, and then come back up. Instead of just rounding and slumping down to get here, try to stay as tall as you can as you reach forward. It doesn't matter if you get to your toes or not. We're just kind of going to reach in as much as we can. If you can go past them, go past them. We're just going to move a little dynamically here. Okay, I'm just going to turn to face y'all, but y'all can stay facing the same way. Now we're just going to turn your feet out and kind of split your stance a little bit more. We're just going to reach to one, reach to the other, over and over again here. Again, I'm trying to sit tall, so I'm not trying to slump down here. All right, now we're going to go back with our feet out in front of us and feet together. We're going to cross one leg over the other one. And then you're going to take, so my right leg's over my left. I'm going to take my left arm, and I'm going to kind of wrap it around my knee, pulling my knee into my chest, and I'm going to just rotate as far back as I can. I'm going to take a few breaths here. And I'm going to switch to the other side. So left leg over the right leg. Right arm grabs the knee and pulls it in. And I'm just going to rotate back. Taking a few breaths. All right, now I'm going to come back onto all fours. Go back into twisting into the ground. Let's continue right back to where we were starting. Keeping that back flat and just moving those shoulder blades around a few more times. Then we're going to walk into a push-up plank. If you need to, you can go knees on the ground here. And we're just going to do 5 push-ups real fast. So butt tight, belly button drawn in. Keep the elbows nice and tight as we do our push-ups. Then let's push back into downward dog. I'm going to continue the same external rotation in the ground like I would a push-up with my hands. And I'm really just trying to stick my head through. I like to think about mimicking an overhead position with my hands and my upper body. And I wiggle my lower body around. So now from that down dog position, we're going to lift up the right leg as high as you can, and then we're going to turn it over in this way. And then we're going to switch over to that left side. Let's go up and then turn it over. Notice how my hip sticks up in the air. Okay, so we're going to try and not do that on this next one, and I'm just going to kick my leg up, keeping my feet towards the ground. So I'm trying to not let my hips come out like this. I'm just going to over and over again kick that leg up and alternate kicking up over and over. All right, now let's put that right foot next to the right hand. We'll drop your back knee to the ground. Squeeze your back butt cheek, shove your hips down. We're going to rotate to the right and rotate to the left, just over and over again here. Make sure your belly button's drawn in. That left butt cheek is tight. Let's straighten that leg. We're going to flex your quad. We're going to flex your foot and then bend just a little bit. Just getting reps in. As this kind of warms up, you can lean into it a little bit more. Okay, now let's come forward. We're going to grab your left leg with your right hand. We're just going to pull on it, and we're going to rotate as far towards your right leg as you can, and then as far away from your right leg as you can, just going back and forth here. All right, let's go to the other side. So left foot next to the left hand, back knees on the ground, squeezing that back butt cheek, drawing your belly button in, and we're just going to go from side to side here. All right, let's straighten that leg, flex the quad, flex the foot, bend just a little bit. As this warms up, or as you can lean more and more into it. We're just trying to get end range reps here. And then we'll come back forward. You're going to pick that right foot up. You're going to reach back with the left hand this time. Shove the hips down. Then we're going to rotate towards the leg and away from the leg. Just getting some goofier movement in here. All right, then what we're going to do is just sit back on our heels. Just one knee at a time. We're going to lift up as high as we can. Lift up as high as we can. Really getting a good stretch on the top of that foot, trying to make that ankle move. All right, then we're just going to get into the bottom of a squat position. We're just going to wiggle around down here. I like to do everything I'm not supposed to do in a squat. So I'm going to let my knee and arch cave in on both sides. I'm going to drive it way out so I'm up off. I'm going to go back on the heels, up on the toes. I'm just going to kind of goof around here for a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is really deliberately put myself in a really good position. So my full foot is on the ground. I'm twisting out. My belly button's drawn in. I'm just going to squat down a little bit. Maybe work my feet in narrower or wider. And then let's just end today with 5 just perfect air squats. So from this position, stand up. Feel that balance on your feet. Stay nice and perfect. It's 2, 1 more. 3, 1 more. 4, last one here. All right. So from here, if you're gonna, if it's in the morning, what I would do is grab a foam roller, lacrosse ball, use your fingers. Let's find an area to perform some just maintenance on our body, doing some mobility work. We like to call it smashing usually. And there's some other things we can do. Or if this is pre-workout, now it would be time to get a little more specific with your workout prep. All right, see you guys soon.